Jake Tompkins.
I'm Juliann Tompkins.
My name is Chelsey Goins.
We've been friends for about 10 years now, and we met in 2012 when we all lived in a neighborhood called Parkview, which is just south of Kirkwood. So Chelsey bought a house next to our friends Megan and Eric, and Juliann and I moved back from Kentucky when she went to grad school, and she said we had to rent a house in Parkview, so that's where we did.
So you could be close to Megan and Eric.
That's exactly right, so we'd be close to Megan and Eric. And while we lived there, Megan and Eric and I went to and Juliann went to the same church, and we all started a core group. We had kind of the pariah core group. Nobody would come to it, so it was just the four of us for maybe 6 to 8 months. Nobody. They went to the other popular groups. They went to the other popular groups, but nobody would come to our group except us.
And so high school.
That's right. And so one day, Eric was like, "Well, we're just going to stop inviting people from church. We're going to start inviting our neighbors." And really, none of our neighbors went to church. It was, I think, out of all of our neighbors, it was really just the four of us. But everybody was kind of in the same age demographic, and so we just said we're gonna have dinner on Tuesdays
and watch TV sometimes.
And watch TV and hang out, and it just exploded. I mean, we went from having 4 people to having like 15 to 20 people in Megan and Eric's tiny living room.
So I was living next door to Megan and Eric, and they were trying to become my friends, and I most definitely did not want to really be their friends. Because they were Christian and I did not trust Christians, rightfully so in my opinion at that time. But they were cool people. We liked the same TV shows, so we started watching Game of Thrones together. And then we started watching The Walking Dead together, and then we stopped watching The Walking Dead together because it was terrible. We just became really close friends. And so they invited me to this dinner they had, and I was like, I know this is your church dinner, guys, and I'm not coming to your church dinner. You know that about me, right? And they're like, we know that about you, and we don't care. It's just going to be a eat dinner and hang out thing. And so for 9 years, we had this happy dinner, and we all moved around and stuff at that time, but we still kept getting together for dinner. And then one day, mysteriously, I became a Christian, and I'm still not sure how that happened.
Well, it was definitely a secret to us.
Yeah, I told them at their daughter's birthday party.
Oh, months after it happened, too.
Yeah.
I mean, we were the last to find out, and Chelsea's like, surprise, I'm a Christian. I was like, wait, what?
I only told you because Eric threatened to tell you if I didn't. I was spending all these time with these really wonderful people who I loved more than anything, and who I don't come from a stable and happy background. For the first time in my life, I had a community that really loved me and supported me and made me feel, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like a family?
Like a family. Like I had a family for the first time. And I would be talking to my many atheist friends, and they'd be like, how are you friends with those Christians? And I'd be like, oh, I don't know, I think it's great. Like, I'm really happy for them. I love that they have their faith. I think it's so good for them. It really seems to add something to their life. I'm almost a little jealous of it, but I could never believe that stuff. And I said that for years. And then one day I said that, and like a voice said back, why can't you? And then for the next 3 months, I read a lot of books trying to answer that question, and wound up at Eastside. Eastside was the first church that I went to. Once I decided that I needed to figure this whole like Christian thing out, I had a long list of like requirements I had for the church I went to. I wanted it to be an affirming church because I have a lot of queer friends, and I didn't want them to think that becoming a follower of Jesus meant that I now hated them or thought there was something wrong with them. And I wanted it to be a church that was focused on helping the community. So I came to Eastside, and I had a list of like 5 churches that I was going to go to. But I walked in that day, and I sat down and listened to Tim's sermon, which in my mind on that day was written as if it was specifically for me. I've never, it was written specifically for me. I later went back and listened. It was not written for me. Shock. But I just loved it at Eastside. I loved everything about it there. I was deeply uncomfortable, and I sat in the very last row and was ready to bolt at any moment. But I just felt like I was home, and I didn't know why, really. And so the next week, I was supposed to go to the next church on my list, and instead I just got up and got dressed and went to Eastside, and I've been coming ever since.
Chelsey had been going to a church for a year and a half or a year, for a long time at that point. And I said, well, if I'm going to go to a church, I'd rather go to somewhere where my family goes. And we asked Chelsey if we could come to church with her. And it was almost Easter. And she's like, well, why don't you come to Easter? There's going to be an outdoor service. And so we watched the service online, and she's like, yeah, we're gonna do the service online, and then just come, and it'll be a really quick thing, and then we'll have communion, and it'll be together. And we watched the service, and then we showed up, and Tim gave the entire service again, and then we had communion, and she's like, that was longer than I thought it would be.
I was like, guys, I swear it's not like this every week. Please come back.
I think that Sunday it was like Chelsea's like, these are my friends. These are my friends.
Oh my gosh.
And she like introduced us to everyone.
I never felt more appreciated than I did with Chelsea. Be like, hello, these are my friends, Jake and Juliann. And I was like, it's like beaming. I'm like, oh, someone appreciates me. It's so great. But also, I mean, similar to Chelsea, it's wonderful to be somewhere that's radically open and accepting. I mean, things that have just always been bothersome about churches. I mean, we've been to churches that are affirming but not, or accepting but not affirming, or other things like that. And it's just very hard to look at Jesus and at God and look at everything they say and say, why don't you love this group versus that group? I mean, it's like, where is that coming from?
We're struggling with those questions internally, and then trying to raise kids in a way that we want them to be respectful of others. And it's amazing to be in a community where everyone is teaching them that, and it's not on us to make them feel open. It's because the people that are around them are open.
One of the things I've really liked about Eastside is that I've just been able to get involved in a lot of ways that are not really typical for me. I'm not a joiner, but I actually joined with Troy and Karina. And so when Karina became youth minister, I was immediately like, Karina's gonna need help. I wanna help Karina. And so I told her, I was like, put me down for youth group. And I'm gonna be honest, it was maybe the most life-changing thing I've ever done. I mean, I guess the becoming a Christian thing. But besides that, I love our youth group. It is the most life-giving and joyful thing I do. In my entire life. It's the thing I'm the most excited about at Eastside. I love all of our youth, even the middle schoolers, Leona. And spending time with them, it's so much fun, and I learn so much. And honestly, they're better people than I am, so I'm learning how to be a better person by spending time with them. And it's exciting for me because those ages were really hard for me. I went through a lot of stuff at that time, and so it's really rewarding for me to get to spend time with people who are going through what I consider to be a really rough time in life, and be the person that they ask questions to, and just to encourage them and help them grow and just become adults, because being a teenager sucks. So looking forward, the one thing I'm really excited about is going to church with my friends. I'm gonna be honest, it has been really when I started going to Eastside, one of the reasons I picked Eastside is because I didn't know anybody who went there. And as I was becoming a Christian and trying to figure out what I believed and learn more about my faith, I didn't want the pressure of my friends around, which is why they actually asked my permission to come to Eastside. But I kind of wish they had come sooner, because it's been so great to have people to sit with every Sunday. Sometimes Juliann will reach over and squeeze my knee. Sometimes I'll hug Jake during the service. It's just, I didn't realize that I was lonely sitting by myself until I had people sitting with me. And now when they don't come to church, I'm very lonely, and I make other people sit with me. Oh my gosh, you're gonna cry?
Trying not to.
Oh my god, he's crying. I was not good at human emotions until I was 37. I turned 39.
She's like, what is today? I am 39
years old.
and a few days, so it's today. Yes.
Yeah, I am.
I seriously thought that was gonna go till today years old.
I was not good at human. I'm better now.
I'm not.
Oh my god. I was not good at human emotions because I didn't learn them growing up, and I didn't, and I also just grew up thinking people were not safe. Yeah. And then these people turned out to be really safe, and I'm very grateful for them. And we're done. I'm done.